Hey guys, Pigzy here. Today I want to teach you guys a TvT build. I'm going to go over at least one build for each Terran matchup. And got a special guest here, good friend, Alex, who's a up-and-coming Terran player from the lower leagues, down there in the silver. But that's okay, because we're going to teach him how to be an ultimate samurai StarCraft warrior today with my TvT build. So, overview of the build. It's a 1-1-1 build. You know, you get your barracks, your factory, your starport, and then you're going to do a marine tank plus medevac push, which will allow you to expand at the same time, and then you can go and do whatever you want. Say hi, Alex.
Hi, thanks for the kind words, Pigzy. Being very generous.
Alright, so let's jump into the game, and we're just going to play this with the play button. Yeah.
You can press P, it just says there.
Yeah.
You're a big fan of hotkeys, right? So, better learn it. Learn the hotkey.
The P is all the way on the other side of the keyboard. Look at...
Yeah, you still got to use it. Still better than clicking.
Well, it's not StarCraft 1, and I don't have to build pylons and probes using P, so I can forget about that key. It doesn't actually do anything. So S my D.
Stick a macro on your mouse. Alright, we'll fix it.
Yeah. Alright, so we got our constant SCV production. Obviously, you know, depot and 10 will speed up. It's easy to remember. Don't worry about learning like supply counts. Just remember the order, because as soon as you have the money, you have to take the next step. So, you know, when we get racks, as soon as I got the money, refinery, yep. I like to scout around now. Most games I'd scout after the refinery. In TvT, you don't need to scout until a little later, because it's really hard to cheese, because you have to build the supply depot before you can get the racks up, and you're usually fine. So, yep, orbital and the marine going down, and then on 16, this is only supply to remember really. You want the depot like after your first marine. So he comes out. Cool.
Isn't it true that you can afford that first supply depot at 9? So you got to delay that, because then you get your SCV slightly faster.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah. You want a supply depot on 10. So as soon as you got the gas, you got the minerals, you put the factory down. The point of a scout here, if you see 2 racks or a tech lab, you hang around, see if he's going for an early push, and then you put a bunker here, and then that stops that. Otherwise, just constant marine production still. And you want this gas after your factory when you have enough money, but make sure you don't have to cut marines or SCVs. So it comes around like 21, 22 or something, maybe a bit earlier, around that time. And then you get another depot as your gas finishes. Put the dudes in the gas, because I'm awesome. Put the dudes in the gas, because I'm...
So would you say like you'd build the marine and the SCV, then you'd grab an SCV and build the supply depot when you had the money after you'd done that?
Yep. So starport comes down as soon as your factory's done. Keep the marine production going, and you get a tech lab with your factory. So we'll swap the tech... No, you won't. So what I'm talking about. When the factory's done, you get a siege tank, no siege mode, and you get the dropship. So,
also known as a medivac.
yeah. AKA the medivac. He's put a scan down here. A lot of players will probably think this is going to be a Banshee rush, which is kind of cool too. I've seen some players that get like engineering bay, missile turrets and stuff. In fact, this guy goes for a he gets a Viking out of here. So maybe he did think that I was going Banshee off this, but you're going medevac. The good thing about this push is it's super solid, because obviously Marines just have a butt ton of health because of it being healed the whole time, and you can retreat, which I kind of failed to do in this game, but that's because I'm cool. So
I'm assuming you didn't deliberately supply block yourself, and did you deliberately cut the marine production?
As your push comes, you cut production from these 2 buildings, the factory and the barracks, and then you make a Viking, and then you put the command center down. Because you've cut the production, you get a bit more money. You know, you don't have to do that. If you do this build a lot and you find you're dying, or your push is not as strong as you'd like, expand later. But, you know, he has to fall back. Like, he's gone tank Viking and done the same production as me, except he's got the siege mode. And he's got to pull all of his SCVs. I should retreat here, but I don't. Because the idea of a push, it's not to kill all his SCVs. You just want to try and hold him in his base, so then this here can go up. Um, the point of this of a Viking is if he goes Banshee Rush, the Viking pops and you get 50 energy on your command center at the time the Banshee gets to your base. So if you suspect he's going for a Banshee, um, wait for this 50 energy, like wait to mule in case, and then with a push, when you push you'll see what he's doing. If he's got like tanks and Vikings, there's no Banshee, right? But a lot of the time he'll be forced to use his Banshee to hold the push, so then you can see whether or not you need to hold off on the mule and get the scan going. So that's sort of the end of the build order, and it sets you up to do any sort of TvT tank Viking game you want. You get an early expansion than your opponent. It sets you up with all the essential buildings, and a tech lab to keep making siege tanks and get siege mode. And it's pretty simple. So I like it. You know, you can get lots of racks. You know, I get more racks usually. You can get more factories. You can go air. You can do whatever off. So, questions?
Generally better reactoring your starport after the push like this, so then you get Vikings, right? Because you want the air control for because you're going tank. You're pretty much committing to tank play.
Yeah, my goal here was I saw that he's not going mass air, so I don't need to try and react immediately with Vikings because they have a Banshee or dropships. I don't need to pick off his air units, but I do want to win the Viking battle. And the reason I'm getting both Vikings and these racks is because, and I'm cutting production here. I should be producing now, but I didn't have enough gas before. I'm favouring the Vikings and the bio units because these units allow you to push and the tanks don't, and getting ground in TvT is super important. So I wanted to try and use these pushing units to get up here and then just walk my tanks up, and then I can contain him and get more bases than him and eventually out macro him. That's like what I do for TvT. I just try and get my base. I'll let him get his bases up, but I'm just going to get mine up a bit faster than he does, so I'll always have more money. And yeah, then I win. So I suppose you're going to have a go at doing it on ladder now, and we're all going to...
Good. It's exciting. What about this backdoor base, like in this sort of map?
You can't really take it because you're doing a push. You don't have units to kill it off. And if you take your marines off the front, you can get pushed pretty easy. Yeah. Oh, I remember this. Yeah. I do a drop up here, and leave the tanks behind, and I've got enough to hold off an army that's the same size as mine because my investment is in the drop over here. So that's pretty hard. Anyway, just jump into the next game.
It's not the same guy. I might have to play this time. Oh, team's even.
Team's even, yeah.
That never happens to me.
Just a bit of a cap there. Alex just got promoted to gold because he was the same guy twice in a row, and he dropped out twice in a row. And the guy was in diamond, so he got a bunch of points. Anyway, Alex is going to be trying out the TvT build that I just covered, and try not to stuff it up.
Which I probably will.
Oh,
I remember macro in cycles, right?
Yeah, but that's a bit of a pro tip I was just talking to him about when he was looking for a game. I noticed in a lot of his plays, I say macro, and when he just goes and he'll like build, say he's got like two bases, he'll build like one SCV, maybe start an upgrade, build a couple of dudes from his racks, can do the other SCV, and it just takes forever. But if you macro in a cycle, so it's like two SCVs, macro from my production facilities, barracks, factory, then starport, and then like add a depot, and then like start upgrades, you get through it all a lot faster. And then it ingrains like the timing in your head, so like every like 20 game seconds or whatever, I need to go back and I need to build SCVs, and then that just triggers the rest of your macro, and your hands become fluid at just hitting all the hotkeys, so you can just get it done really fast, opposed to just struggling to keep your money low even when you're looking in your base the whole time. And if your hands still work, well, when you have money, because then you can micro and get into the cool shit. So we're remembering to put the guards in the gas as soon as it pops.
Holy
I want
fuck,
to.
he killed my SCV. That's ridiculous.
Lol. Oh, he was ballsy too. Get it. Get his SCV and scout. You cancel that SCV on the command center. It's not. It's not in there. You don't need it. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I mean, we want a depot when we can. Just scout with that. We want a supply depot. Constant Marines.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, bye. Another marine.
Alright, watch for the orbital to pop. You want that mule and the SCV straight out. Okay, do you have enough for a factory? Factory's next up.
Yeah.
Usually I get the guy who builds a
Yeah.
second supply depot to build a factory. Well, it works out well. SCV. Yeah. Yeah, nice. You're keeping your money pretty low.
Shit, hit one.
So we've got a chance here, man. What's he got? It's okay, just suicide. Okay, got it. I'll go for the bunker, just in case.
At my front, at like the ramp.
At the front, yep. It could also be Reaper, so leave 2 Marines back towards your factory, because he'll try and run up on the south side if he's going Reaper. Yeah, nice. You want that supply depot? Okay. Yep. Starport and Tech Lab. Starport.
My money's too low. Holy shit.
Yeah, first time that's ever happened.
Exactly.
Mulage. Sick. Yeah, you're actually doing it pretty well. You've got an idle SCV. Oh, lol.
What to do with it? Mine.
Huh?
Mine it.
Can you put it on busy? You got a bit of a Victor Wan. Yeah. Marine dude. Get that tank. Get the tank. Oh, you know what happened?
I forgot to get second gas.
Oh fuck. That's okay. We just really not gonna ever get that dropship. Just do the same thing and delay it. Yeah, you should remember to do this kind of stuff, guys. Like even if you mess up your build, or you get rushed or something, just go back to the build and just do it and delay it a bit, and it usually works out pretty well, especially at a low level when these timings aren't so crucial. See, like he's scanned, we're 300 minerals ahead because we're using all mules.